let's, I don't know what's happening now, where it's going. You asked, when we started, you asked about the events that are happening now. And of course, the answer is they can either go into egoic channels, and then they create more havoc. But eventually that's fine too, because eventually that too will awaken you. It just means more suffering has to come first. Or it may be possible of people who want to bring about change, that they are more conscious. And I love it when I see people demonstrating peacefully. Is a wonderful thing. Just a peaceful demonstration is where people are, and a peaceful demonstration does not demonize other human beings. That's the important thing. If you start demonizing or groups of humans, for example, because that is ego, and it's satisfying. It's so satisfying to the ego. I can say, look at these. It inflates the ego. Which you can police. There's a lot that needs to be changed in the way policing. And there are, of course, policemen or women whose ego gets enormous satisfaction from the power they have. And the ego loves that. You're very unconscious, but that it is absurd to say that all police are evil. It's just totally absurd. There are many good human beings who do a very difficult job, and yet, yes, we need to change the whole structure and the way that it is done. That's necessary. But then if we go further and then we go into another trap, which the egoic trap, and we go totally astray. But that's fine too, if that has to happen, then you will regress. And regression in consciousness is also a way of evolving. And that's an interesting fact, that the universe evolves not through order, the play between order and disorder, order and chaos, cosmos and chaos. Cosmos means order, chaos means disorder. So we need the two operate continuously, both in a person's life and in the life of the collective. We always think of course, we should strive for order in our lives. It's good to strive for building things up, creating things. That's all part of order, creating things, building things up, and so on. But no matter, although you should strive for order, no matter how much you strive, you will encounter the eruption of disorder into your life in one way or another. It cannot, because that's how the universe evolves. Everything, when I walk in the forest here, the forest is a coming together of chaos and order, because when you look at the soil, it's full of decaying plants. There's death everywhere. All the vegetation, the soil, and the scent that emanates from the soil, it's decaying matter, something dissolving, but the decaying matter is food for the new life that's arising. The two go together. And on a human level, the evolution of consciousness often needs a regression into disorder because before a new level of consciousness can be reached. In my own life also, I had to go into despair, and I had to find a point of near suicide before an awakening happened. It was necessary. My life was just falling apart in my mind. I couldn't take it anymore. Complete chaos. And it was, so it's often the case that the regression is necessary for a next level of evolution to happen. And that's, whether this is happening now, we'll wait and have to see it. But sometimes it is possible for evolution also to happen without the regression from time to time. But in this, where we are now, it doesn't matter where it is. I see the whole, in long term, I'm very optimistic about the evolution of human consciousness. Not necessarily short term, but I'm a short term undecided, but I'm a long term optimist, because I know that the evolution of consciousness is inevitable, because that's the entire purpose of the universe, is the evolution of consciousness. The universe is an awakening being. It is one being manifesting through countless forms of life. But every form of life, whether it's a person or an animal or a tree, every form of life is a temporary expression that the one underlying being has taken. So there's this, and gradually this one underlying being is in the process of creating this universe. It would be wrong to believe that the creation of the world is already finished, or that the creation of humans is if humans are a finished product, it would be very sad. You'd ask, can't God do better than that? If that's the, but not humans. Humans they're an awakening species, and that's fine. So I'm quite happy with the way things are going. If we need a regression, there's a French expression, excuse my French, but it's reculer pour mieux sauter, which means something like to step back in order to jump better. When you want to jump, you have to go back first and then you jump. So often the regressive step is necessary, but it's not perhaps always necessary. So we'll have to see